Getting airborne to initially position before tipping in for a really high quality 4-ship aerobatic display. In 1976 at Amman International Airport, what is now a 4-ship team, originally started as 3 pit specials S2As. The team changed to 4 fast and nimble water extra 300Ls in 2007, and since 2018 they have been operating the brand new extra 330LX. It's a modern and capable version of the extra design, is capable of an eye-watering plus and minus 10G. So, the team starting off in box formation, performing a quarter clover manoeuvre, rolling right and pulling through, and they'll be staying in this very tight box formation for an initial barrel roll. This manoeuvre so named because the aircraft are basically describing the inside of an imaginary barrel laying on its side in the sky. What a tight formation this is, led for the 2025 display season by RIAT, who first joined the Royal Jordanian Falcons back in 2002. He is currently the Director of Operations and leader of the team. In fact, he first assumed leadership in 2005 and has returned to the role on various occasions since. He joined the Royal Jordanian Air Force in 1992, graduated from King Hussein Air College. 3 years later, as a fighter pilot, he has past experience on the Northrop F5 and the Dassault Mirage F1. So, out from that wing over to the right, and kind back down the display line, but we'll see a subtle change to the formation out of box and into T for Tango, and they pull up into the Tango. Now, as they go back into box formation with the 2 wingmen dropping back a little from the leader, they pull up as if to perform an ordinary Cuban egg manoeuvre, but they're going to exit it still inverted with a painful negative G push. The Extra 330LX is produced by the aircraft manufacturer Extra of Germany, and is probably the smallest aircraft to display here today, with a length of 23 feet and a wingspan of 26 feet. By a light-turning engine of 315 horsepower. It's a light-turning AE IO 580-218. And a very well-matched 4-blade propeller by the MT Propeller Company. It's no surprise that this aircraft has been the mount for many championship winners across the globe. Yes, the Extra 330 is still the mount of the French Air Force, Air and Space Forces national competition. Aerobatic squad, the équipe de voltige de l'armée de l'air et de l'espace. But here we see the Royal Jordanian Falcons again exiting inverted in front of us as they head towards the display line, and they're going to be performing this time an inverted turn. The aircraft from the final season whatsoever. All push-to, push-off and If the aircraft never existing with 219 knots and a normal operating speed for aerobatic of 154. And what that means is if you stay below 154 knots, you will not overstress the aircraft with full scale deflection of any of the controls. A design team has been named Jet by a German aerobatic pilot, aircraft constructor, they started extra, and we're seeing it used so splendidly by the Royal Jordanian Falcons here as they perform another quarter clover manoeuvre out in front of us to reposition all the motors with the B-axis. The A-axis is the display line parallel to the main runway. The B-axis is at right angles to that. They head away from us now to get ready for the first of the splits in this display. There they go, two to the left, two to the right, and this is their salute to you. This is the Royal Jordanian Falcons pass. And as they cross out there in the distance to the north, the two aircraft on each side turn back in towards the airfield. All of this, of course, under the radio command of the team leader, Jordanian Falcons, as he calls his colleagues back in onto the main A-axis. And they're heading towards the display center for the crossover. And they split as they do so. Three of the aircraft clearing off to the north, while the man who's been flying at the back of the formation, the number 4 pilot, gives us a chance to see something of the solo capabilities of the extra EA300. The top man is Serhat Al-Wayhat, who joined the Royal Jordanian Air Force in 2006. Graduated from King Hussein Air College in 2010 as a fighter pilot, flying the F-5 and then the F-16 fighting Falcon. He's been on the Royal Jordanian Falcons since 2021. Well, that's personal behest of that very fine aviator, his late Majesty King Hussein bin Talal of Jordan, that the Royal Jordanian Falcons were founded back in 1976 on the Peace Special. His intention was that the intent to promote the Jordanian family, each and friendship to the world through the art and science of aviation. Watch now to the left as the solo crosses over with the three-ship formation. Coming up for a loop on the 45-degree line. And the leader now be pulling them into a barrel roll. And as they complete the barrel roll, the solo re-enters. King Hussein, a very enthusiastic pilot himself, who for many years became a patron of the International Air Tattoo and was known to fly in himself in some of the aircraft from his... And now we see the leader and the right wing man going into mirror formation, the left wing man barrel rolling dynamically around their slope. For this season are Sharif Hassouk and Ahmad Al-Quda. Sharif Hassouk has been with the Jordanian Falcons since 2016. He's been flying the F5 before he transitioned to the Air Force's transport fleet on the Airbus C295 twin turbocop. And as well as being the smallest aircraft on display here at RIAT, it is the only one that can be flown on private power. So the maximum total weight is just over 2,000 pounds, and the cost of flying a region of 350,000 pounds, plus the inevitable VAT. If you can afford it, it's one. There's always something going on in this display, so the solo exit is off to the half left, goes up to the right edge to cross with the three ships running back in. The Vic formation now for another of these counter-climbing manoeuvres that are such a good way of changing display axis. And they split on the way down. Back into the vertical, showing us something of the outstanding power to weight ratio of the extra EA 330 LX. They clear the solo comes back in for a session of freestyle aerobatic maneuvers up into the vertical, and then tail sliding back down through those slopes. Transitioning into a spin. Several complete rotations before a very smart recovery. And rolling off into the distance as the free ship gets ready for one of the signature manoeuvres of the Royal Jordanian Falcons. They're in Vic formation out in front of us. They pull up, they're still inverted as the solo crosses them, heading underneath them and pulling up behind them as the team begins to roll upright. As I say, the team comes from what's known officially as the Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan, and the manoeuvre they're setting up for now is called the Hashemite Trace. Then go off to either side. The wingman I haven't talked about yet is Captain Ahmad Al-Huda, a King's Air College graduate who's flown the F5 and the F-16. He's been a member of the Royal Jordanian Falcons since 2013. Extras all over the sky at the moment, but they'll still be reforming, doing then crossing a perfect crossing display centre as the leader dives down behind them and the solo pulls up into the vertical for a series of vertical rolls. In 1992 that the Royal Jordanian Falcons replaced their fixed specials with the extra 300. They later upgraded to the low-wing 300L model before changing in 2018 to this, the ultimate, the 330 LX. So now the trio of extras off to the left, the solo diving in from the right. Three other aircraft back in line abreast formation. Performing a very highly loose, rock-steady formation flying. Now watch them enjoy the solo. Now also watch the transition from line abreast into Vic formation by the other three as the solo chases them down. currently inverted, but soon once again to roll off. Right, there we go. And they're using a wing over to come back onto the A-axis. Now, Mark will see a very, very slow roll, hopefully, from another aircraft in the display, another propeller-driven aircraft in the display later on. This is going to be a slow roll in box formation. One of the hardest maneuvers we're going to see today, performed by a team whilst in formation. What makes this so challenging, frankly, is the maneuver that requires three actions of the control systems in use. So, for example, with the aileron, in the 985 that runs in the inverting, the elevator goes forward to provide upward lift. Again, converting to top rudder and then transitioning to normal flight. However, because you've got two aircraft on the outside that are going are describing a circle around the leader, quite often the wingmen will be cross-controlled, so cross-controlled at the top of the manoeuvre. Very, very hard to fly in formation and far harder than it is as a solo aircraft. So that entire manoeuvre took about 6,000 feet, so 1 nautical mile. Yeah, really difficult and quite uncomfortable for the two on the outside. They're staying in box formation for the moment, and we're going to see them putting back onto the display line for another repositioning globally, I think. Very close links forged over the years by the Royal Jordanian Air Force with our own Royal Air Force, and so in the year that saw the death of the late King Hussein, one of the highlights of that year's Royal International Air Tattoo here at Fairford was the sight of his personal de Havilland Dove VIP transport, escorted by the 4 extras of the Falcons, and with missing man salute provided by number 6 Squadron Royal Air Force with its Jaguars. That's a squadron that spent a great deal of time operating out in Jordan. Well, they're coming towards the final part of this superb display. That cloverleaf manoeuvre used to come back onto the B-axis in front of us. They're setting up into what they call Concorde formation, and this is for their final manoeuvre. This is for their Concorde fan break.